I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
Good afternoon, everyone.
More speed, more innovation.
It's going to make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Curling Stadium Martensville International here in Martensville, Saskatchewan. My name is Jim Nixon. I'm hoping to be joined here shortly by Terry Corbin, and we're going to bring you this first draw of this event. Teams playing today are Nancy Martin of Saskatoon, right here in Saskatchewan, and Youbeen Park from Seoul, South Korea. Park fresh off a win last week in the Alberta Curling Series event where she defeated Kate Cameron in the final. So certainly on a bit of a roll for sure, and we're underway. We've only got 11 teams this week and playing a triple knockout for, I think, 5 spots in the playoffs, 4 or 5 spots in the playoffs. We'll let you know that a little bit more detail later. And we just are underway. Second shot of the game. So it looks like Martin's got hammer here in the first end. They had to draw to the button to determine that after practice and see the end result. But obviously Martin's throwing last here, so chances are pretty good that she's throwing, but she has hammer. Korean team has 5 players. They have a couple players playing front end, and so I'm not exactly sure who this is, but we're going to go with Soon Hee Yang, I think, it would be their regular lead. And Jin Hee On is the other player that rotates through the front end, from what I can gather. And if we get any different information than that, we will let you know. Sounds like I have somebody else with me.
You have me.
Hey, buddy, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay, these events are very efficient this year. It seems like most games we're doing, they seem to get started a few minutes early. So good to have you aboard, Terry. We're just getting underway. And, we look forward to a good game here.
Yes.
It's pretty open end, not a big surprise. A lot of teams, both men and women's teams, do play the first end pretty simple if they can. And if the other team goes along with that plan, then they like to keep it pretty easy.
Yeah, this has my DNA all over it.
Yeah. Working a little bit hard to get this one to move a bit. Should get enough of it to remove it.
I tell anybody that'll listen to me that Rachel must have watched a lot of my games in my early going.
Well, I can't remember that far back, Terry, but I'm sure that if you're telling it, then it's definitely true. So I'm at that point now where I'm old enough, whatever, that I don't really like throwing hits on that first end. I'm just not loose for a couple of minutes. So my game has gotten actually more aggressive. It might not be better results, but it's more aggressive.
Most certainly. And I mean, it's a comfort thing for myself. I mean, I like to get a good read on the ice and I think those delicate shots are a little bit more difficult in the early on, so I avoid them.
Oh, absolutely, especially in regular club play. I mean, most curling clubs now, and I'm sure yours as well, have pretty good ice, but they're not prepared quite the way this is, and we don't have full practices and all that stuff. So those touch
Exactly.
shots are a little bit tough in the first end.
Yeah, and that's what's really nice about the way curling is now in all these big events, well, and not just the big events. I mean, I know some spiels are this way as well, where they draw for hammer, so they've been on the ice, they've got a sense of the amount of curl, they got a sense of the weight, and it really does make for opening ends typically, to be a little bit more of finesse versus just up and down the sheet.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a bit of a miss here from the Park team on the shot before this. It was just off nose here, so it did leave the corner guard up for Nancy Martin, and she's electing to go around here. This would be the second stone for Martin, which would be Kadriana Lott. A great shot here.
Yeah, well done.
Pretty short run back, but still couldn't do much better than that. It curled about a rock and a half in about 2 rocks.
Yes.
So Korea will try the run back. They say short run back, so very makeable, but it is early and it's hard to get that broom in the exact right place all the time. Left-hander. Left-hander's in turn. It's curling a little bit more than she wants, maybe. No, it's fine.
Close. Yeah, this is good shot.
Yeah,
and rolls right into this middle of the ice.
Yeah, that's a good spot. Far enough away that for Martin to roll behind the corner would be a pretty difficult task, and probably wouldn't even try really at this point. She'd probably just sort of try to run this end out if she can.
I would think at this stage, yes, for sure. Now, I don't know if you know, Jim, but is this the team that Nancy had last year? I recognize one of them, but
yeah, I don't believe so. I was just trying to do a little bit of minimal, but a little bit of research before the game just to see who all was on her team, and because she plays seniors at a pretty high level too, I'm not always exactly sure. But I don't think it's exactly the same team. I think her third played with maybe with Silvernagel last year.
Oh, okay.
Right. So at least that person's different. I'm pretty sure of that.
Right. Okay.
Big miss there, though.
Yeah.
Just a wide open hit. And so Korea will, you just notice there, they're not going to try to do anything fancy here, put it more or less on the button, maybe the same distance as back as the other one, and force Nancy Martin to make a shot for one here in the first. You don't like to have those wide open misses. I always find that you'll get those sometimes, particularly at club level where people aren't throwing it very firm all the time and ice is a little sticky. And I like to have my players throw a little bit up, even though I might call normal, but it's kind of like, well, I'm calling normal, but that's like, make sure you're normal kind of weight.
That's right.
I can live with a little bit extra weight. That one curled by, so.
Well, and I think too, this is true for me, doing just some club curling, where you don't know the players like you would if you were curling competitive.
Yeah.
And some of them just can't throw takeout weight because the game is new to them as well, and as a result, I mean, so you get into these draw games really early, and so I have felt a lot more comfortable playing that kind of a game just over the evolution of my club curling experience.
Yeah. Shailene Kitts, I think would be how
this is a miss.
Ooh, that's a big miss.
Yes. Wow.
A good opportunity there because I think the Korean team probably over curled the one that they wanted to. They probably didn't want to be quite that close to the corner. So Nancy Cameron's going to have to pull this out. Do something wonderful as a skip here in the first end. Korea's playing a little tight guard on this one. And if it's going to curl that much, which I guess the shot before must have curled that much, but that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus feet of ice.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of curl.
Really is.
We've seen
I'm
that.
envious.
Yeah. We've seen that so much. Basically, it's amazing to me after doing now probably about 6 or 7 events so far this year and many different clubs, that how many of them have such great ice conditions. Like the curl is always there. The speed is always there. It's not always lightning fast, but it's plenty to play with. And everybody has that curl that everybody wants to have now. So it's nice to see.
Yeah. I guess too, what makes the 2 misses there by Team Martin is, I know we always kind of, as you mentioned, kind of threw a little extra weight, but we also probably took a little less ice just because of the pebble being, fairly fresh. So
Yeah.
I'm really surprised that, we've had 2 misses this early on in the game.
Yeah, oh, for sure. Yeah. And that's a pretty good guard by the Park squad. It's, it probably is gettable for Nancy Martin, but it's not a shot that they've played yet. And going to be a tough one.
Yeah, and it was this outturn throw by Nancy's third that was missed and in this spot, and so it'll be interesting just to see how much weight is thrown on this, because I would suspect that this would be kind of a tempered kind of takeout.
Yeah, I would think. Yeah, I don't think she wants to throw this one real hard for sure. It doesn't look from our angle that she has a lot of that back rock.
That's right.
This looks pretty good. It's going to have to curl a little bit, though.
Oh, I don't think she's got this at all.
No.
Oh, she got a piece of it, but she got enough to get it in? I don't think so.
I don't think so, no.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a little straighter there after we've just been talking about how much it curls everywhere and everything. Yeah, they're making us look not like we know what we're talking about here. We don't know what we're talking about. That was pretty straight, and that wasn't an overabundance of weight. So Korea's going to try to go right around the center guard, probably go top 4 foot, maybe full 4 foot at best. And it'll be interesting to see what Cameron does what Martin does this if she makes this good.
Yeah, she might elect just to kind of draw down to the rocks on the wing. She may even contemplate trying to make the double or the nose hit on one of those rocks.
Yeah, it's because it's so early in the game. I mean, another couple of ends, you would never think of doing that. You just play the draw. But in the first end, you might be tempted to say, "Hey, I'm okay with giving up one."
Yeah, for sure.
Youbeen Park has a little bit of an interesting follow through on her. She's she kind of coasts a little bit right of the target.
Looks good here.
Yeah, it does look really good. Might over curl a little bit.
Just bite the top of the 4, be a really good shot, and she's done that.
Really good shot.
Geez, Nancy didn't even think twice. She just put the broom down and said, "I'll see you later."
Yeah. The one thing about this is you're probably in that path where they throw a little bit more for practice, and so that's the one nice thing about it. Might be a little bit outside of that, but it looks like you're going to get that much curl. So.
Oh, that is the ice that the
Korean
Skip took for her shot.
Yeah.
This doesn't look like it's light.
No.
This looks like it's got a lot of weight to get there. So
sweepers are thinking it needs a little bit of help.
And I'm not sure why, but.
No, they were a little off on that one. I think she's going to get away with just the one, though. Well, maybe.
Going to be close.
Yeah.
I think she might have given up 2. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just having a final look here. And it
That
looks like
was-
2.
Yeah, that was not the first end that Team Martin was looking for.
No, absolutely not. So Park steals 2 in the first end. Take a 2-0 lead after 1 end here in Martensville.
Don't forget your brooms.
Yep, you got it.
Come on up. Okay, well, what do you got? You got 1, you got 2, yeah!
Just one more throw, please.
You make moments like these possible.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's ice pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best brew in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
Saskatchewan, you know SaskTel because we're everywhere. Because being everywhere keeps us connected to you. With SaskTel sponsorships, we get to be part of your community. We're here with you, and we're here for you. It's easy to get started. All you need to do is apply. SaskTel cares. Always has, always will. To apply for sponsorship, visit sastel.com/sponsorships.
Welcome back to end number 2 here at the Curling Stadium, Martensville International. And a big steal of 2 in the first end there for Park, Terry.
Yeah, I mean, when you've got the hammer, you certainly don't like to give up a deuce. And but Team Martin had 3 misses. Period.
Yeah. Yeah, that's too many even in the first end. It's just you got to make contact all the time, and you might not have to stay all the time. You can grow 50% in that first end and end up in a blank. So you don't have to be perfect, but you got to be a little better than that. I'm sure they
Yes. Yes.
So Korea, the Park team puts up a really tight center guard. Martin's going to go around it. She looked at throwing a corner for a minute, but just decided to come right around. Looks pretty good.
This is starting to curl now. Yeah. Wow. Does it ever curl now?
Yeah, it's a big finish.
I mean, do you think Nancy just got bitten by a snake there in those 2 outturn hits that really didn't do anything?
Well, yeah, I think the first one, when her third missed that one, I think, she unfortunately didn't learn as much out of that as you usually can. It just went really straight, but I think she probably thought, well, she just threw a little heavy. Maybe she was out a little bit. We can't see that good from where we are.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think she felt pretty comfortable in her last one that she'd be fine, and it just didn't come up the way that we might have expected it to.
Yeah.
So Sun Hee Yang throwing a in-turn draw, playing the freeze on the red one in the 4-foot. And that's a pretty good shot. Freeze tap. Pretty hard to remove that, I think, and get the inside roll. So Martin's going to play the same shot she just threw.
Yeah.
This is, if all the players are right that we have, this is Deanna Doig throwing her second lead stone. Not a team we see that often, so we're not real sure on.
That's right. Yeah.
Players are. A couple of these ladies play a lot of mixed doubles. Heather plays a lot of mixed doubles, and obviously Kadriana Lott plays a lot of mixed doubles at very high levels. Pretty good shot.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure that Kathy, Team Martin is, feeling a little bit better about the situation versus the first end. So I mean, they're actually counting 2. So onward and upward, and
So Park second stone Ji-Eun Kim playing the out turn, trying to hit the back one, the one at the base, basically just on the button.
mm-hmm.
I have to go to hold this one, I think.
Yeah, this is really starting to move, and she's on the front.
Not the end of the world in the sense that she at least got a couple more rocks in the circles, but it probably won't come into play. But I'd rather have them in there than nowhere.
Well, and it's amazing how you start to look around and you go, oh my God, they've got 3, and
Yeah.
it doesn't take much for the brain to get sucked into a fear kind of state.
Yeah. Yeah. That is true. So Nancy Martin's going to play the out turn hit on the yellow one. You say it's not a shot that you necessarily have to play, but really your choices are probably to throw a tight guard or go out and draw over that way. So you might as well remove it, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think Nancy would be comfortable throwing a guard with last rock on the center line.
Exactly. Yeah. That's perfect. That's a great shot. Just moved over and really, she's looking at the Park's looking at the 2 res. I thought that wouldn't have been possible from here. It looks like you couldn't get it by the yellow one, but it must be a little bit of space there.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, when I first looked at it, it didn't look like this was even in the cards as being an option.
Second stone, Kim. She's going to be close, I think.
Yep. Oh, she got them all 3 of them. What a great shot.
Yeah, that's a tremendous shot. Just that little, it's funny because you just took that little tiny bit of a rub and that redirected enough that they're all gone. So all of a sudden Nancy Martin is playing catch up again a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know if we have replays available for this game or not, but we'll look into that. And maybe if we have another shot like that down the road, we'll be able to show it to you.
That's right. Yes.
Not always available. Kind of depends on equipment and stuff like that, I guess.
Sure.
I don't have a clue about that side of things. So, so Martin's going to hang on here. Didn't hit the rock they were trying to hit, but at least it did make contact and stayed in the ring. So forces Park really at this point to go after it. She can't just leave it there. And Cailey. Girls are working hard on this one to hold it. Going to get a piece, but probably not going to hang around.
I think she is just on the back there.
Martin will probably try to make the double here. She'd like to get out of this end with a blank now. It doesn't look like she's going to probably be able to turn anything into 2. Not yet, anyways.
Yeah, unless we have a wide open miss, you're probably correct there.
Shaylin Kitts. The intern hit. This one's going pretty hard too. Gonna be okay, I think.
Yeah.
Good shot. So the out turn, or lefty, so an intern hit.
Intern, yeah.
so many more Asian teams, particularly Asian teams, European teams, but so many Asian teams now, and they're all technically so solid.
Yeah, they spend a lot of time on a curling sheet, I'm sure.
Yeah. Good shot there. Maybe a little underthrown, but did remove it. Made it a little bit easier for Martin to blank. You would have liked to hang around there because you had a really good opportunity with only 4 rocks to come of forcing the Martin team to take one. But
yeah, I'd really like to see her play the, down to it.
Yeah.
On this, keep a little pressure on the Korean team.
Yeah, you're not going to be in much trouble even if you don't quite make it perfect. And you would assume here that you'd be in the neighborhood. So even if you were, a few feet short or something like that, you're probably still going to be able to get out of the end without being forced. She's opted to play the hit.
Yep.
A little bit firmer. I was thinking after the last shot that
yeah.
Yeah, Shaylin and Nancy maybe weren't quite on the same page on the weights. So they just got to probably talk that out a little bit.
Yep.
Park will look to remove this. They just showed exactly like to roll a little bit towards the center. Not a lot of advantage rolling to the center here, but sometimes there is when it's a little higher in the house, Terry, when you can make that roll out that much harder, right?
Yep.
I mentioned this Korean team came off a win last week in the Alberta Curling Series. Event 1, they called it, and must have played very well. She had a 5th and a 4th before that in a couple of events, one being the Korean Championships and one being an event over here, I think, earlier in the year, but I'm not quite sure.
Oh, really?
Prestige Hotel maybe won. Yeah, but they won last week, beating Kate Cameron in the final, and a pretty decent field in that event too. So
wow.
Good job for them. Yeah. In-turn hit. It's not a lot of weight on this one, but should be nice. Lots of handle. And she'll get her little roll towards the center as well. So perfect. Score it 5 out of 5 or 4 out of 4 or however you're scoring it is.
That's right.
Yeah. 10 out of 10 doesn't matter.
That's right.
So I need to do for my game now. I need to have a few 10 out of 10 shots.
Bring up percentage.
Yeah. There's a few of those zeros and ones and stuff, and aren't really cutting it. So I said I played my first game last week of the year, and I was 100% for one shot. Then I was 50% after 2 shots. It was not going to be a perfect season after all. Nancy Martin not taking so much ice. She must be going to throw this a little firmer than what everybody else was throwing. Looks like only about maybe not quite a foot of ice or so, at least.
And while these shots don't often get reflected in the difficulty stage, I think they're kind of important for confidence.
Yeah.
You want to hit, you want to stay, you want to make sure that the Korean team doesn't get that, as they call it, that free draw, that practice draw to just throw. So I think Kathy. Why do I want to call her Kathy? Nancy.
Yeah.
Nancy's really got to feel a little bit better after completing the task there.
Yeah, for sure. That was a good throw. Nice, smooth, looked good, and perfect. So Park's looking to hit this and roll over kind of in front of the yellow one, if she can make it. It's a pretty aggressive roll, but you definitely want to stay here. You want Nancy Martin to have to roll out on her final hit. I don't mind right on the nose if it's me.
Yeah, me either.
Definitely going to roll a bit, though.
Yeah. Perfect. Forces Nancy to take a stab at it and roll out.
Yeah. Yeah, she's made the shot a little bit harder. No question. She's going to go out turn. She's going to try to cross over this, Terry, or she just.
You know what? I mean, she's playing the out turn here, so
yeah.
I mean, my instinct is, to play that in turn, but again, yeah, I'd want to roll out the well, in this case, the low side.
Yeah. It's a very simple looking shot. That's just a little more difficult than what it looks.
I don't know how many times over my curling career I've made this beautiful nose hit.
Yeah.
on this exact rock where and she's trying to roll out the high side.
Yeah.
Oh, she's got it.
Yeah, very good shot for Nancy. It's wasn't a gimme and certainly a good job. So blank end here, and we remain 2-0 for Park over Nancy Martin after 2 ends.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Join us this March for the House of Hearts Charity Bonspiel in Duluth, Minnesota. Help raise funds for Project Joy, who provides meals for hungry kids in our community. Every donation helps to ensure no child goes hungry. Join us and make a difference. Together, we can spread joy.
Welcome back to game number 1, third in, here at the Curling Stadium, Martensville International. In our game between Martin and Park, and Martin just blanking that in. That didn't really turn around, Terry, on that one shot where Nancy wasn't really sitting 3, but the Koreans did make a triple, basically.
That's right. Excellent shot. Changed the complexity of that whole end. And, Team Martin went from, feeling pretty good about the possibility of a deuce and the probability of a deuce to, now we're back to square one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there was only, after that shot, it was still a few rocks to come, but there was nothing to build with. So they were probably looking at the blank end from about rock number 4 on, really.
4 on, yeah. 4 or 5 on, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So a hit and a stick on the first shot here for the Martin team, and the Koreans are going to just play the hit. Really, for them, they're, it's a long way from being over, but you still are really playing a little bit of defense right now. If you're the Koreans, you're not going to get too crazy right now.
Well, we say we all have our little sayings, but one of mine is always, there's no sense fueling their offense.
Yeah.
You have a plan, you stick to it. It's worked so far. If it's not working, of course, then you might think of switching things up. But like you say, I think there was no need to take any risks there. You're up 2-0. You don't have the hammer, and now we're going to get Nancy's team throwing that corner guard to see if they can't start to facilitate some play in the house and potentially look at getting that deuce back.
Yeah, exactly. And I like that saying, and we live far enough apart. I'm going to steal that.
Oh, no, you're not.
Well, yeah, maybe not on the air. I don't want to be sued over some copyright infringement or whatever, but around the club, I might use that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. So the Koreans are going to come right around that, I believe. Judging by that ice, that intern just goes really, really hard.
Yeah, it really does.
Let's get Park just showing where it went when she had the room at the edge of the 8 foot.
Mm-hmm.
That's why she's taking 3 inches less or something like that. Looks like my third when he says he tries, just give me a little more. He gives you a foot. up until this year. This year, I can hardly get an inch out of him. So anyway.
Well, maybe he's afraid you'll take a mile.
Yeah, he's probably watching me throw too much all last year. And he says, well, it didn't work last year.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the come around. This one's going to have to bend a lot, and it's probably a little bit on the heavy side. Sliding back pretty deep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they won't be real happy with that one. That one probably doesn't help anybody, but if it helps anybody, it helps Martin more than it helps them for sure.
That's right. At this stage, yes.
Nancy's calling the same shot with significantly less ice. You know, it's interesting. I think back to when we used to hold a big ladies event here in New Glasgow, and it was a Grand Slam before there were Grand Slams, really. But
yeah.
And Binyu Wang from China was over and played on that a lot. And at that time, we always talked about how the Europeans got so much more curl, and it was almost not a normal curl because they threw less handle. And I'll tell you, watching her play it was hard to believe that she just she would take 2 feet more ice than everybody else and get it there, and it just didn't look that much different.
I know.
Yeah, pretty good shot by Lott here. She would have much rather been above the tee line, but a nice line and getting closer. It's taking them a few ends to kind of figure it all out here. Going after this one and curls so much that it's definitely a possibility, even if you can see it all or can't see any of it, rather, then I'm sure you can still hit it. Yeah, I still have a hard time. As long as I play Terry, I still have a hard time when I can't see the rock throw.
I know.
I always want to help it get over there. And
yep.
Yeah.
AKA the dump.
Yeah. Yeah. That's where they put it after it hit the guard. So Park's playing the out turn with just probably about a board weight hit. They're going to have to work pretty hard.
Tight.
It's a little light, I think. Yeah, tight and probably light both.
And this is going to end up, maybe not. I thought that she was going to just push the red one into the rings. But, I mean, that's just, out and out underthrown. I mean, because she talked about actually removing the rock from the rings.
Exactly, yeah.
I was kind of shocked that they would play it with that little ice, but again, they're out there and they're supposed to know what they're doing. So
yeah, I think you're right in your first comment. I think definitely underthrown. She was probably looking for something around the hack to board mark, and that was maybe back 12 at best. They swept it all the way, and it still didn't look like it would have went much more in the back.
This thing's on the guard here.
Yeah, it's not a good shot. No.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, she just threw one to the back of the 4 foot, and obviously the adjustment just made too much of an adjustment. And could be interesting. I was thinking that she might decide to go intern on this yet.
Mm-hmm.
Keeps edging that broom out a little bit, which just makes sense.
Yeah.
Looks like she could get that one, but that was back. You think back to that first end, that out turn down,
right?
Not easy. Try to draw around here and just be anywhere above the tee line, I guess would be good.
Yeah, I'm sure if she could walk it down, it would be, biting the or full 4 probably would be good. I'm like you. I as soon as I saw her call the out turn, wow, we've seen that out turn not curl, and we've seen this side really curl.
Yeah.
This looks pretty good too.
Yeah, this is going to be a little heavy again, but pretty darn good. Couple feet heavy. And the big difference, obviously, you leave room for the Cameron team to get a rock in there, which is why, even though it's almost biting the button, it's about 100% better if it's biting the top of the button and not the back of the button.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm sure if Nancy needed a deuce, she could play back 12 weight and potentially get to the nose of that. But she's not in need of removing that rock at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's one of those and last rock at the end kind of thing. Let's see how we do this. But
yeah, this is on the guard again.
Yeah, that's not close. It's got to be getting a little bit frustrating out there. That's yeah.
Yeah, they're really struggling.
Yeah. So Martin could be in really big trouble after this shot.
Yeah.
Park's third makes this adjustment here and throws this one, as you mentioned, just a full 4-foot on the top. Nasty's going to be in a heap of trouble.
Yeah.
And this one could be really good, Terry.
Yeah, this looks really good. I got 15-3 on the hog to hog.
Yeah, just a little light. Doesn't hurt you, but it doesn't really help you a whole lot either.
That's right.
Yeah, 15-3 is probably, I don't know what it is. What do you think? Probably 14 and a half, maybe at best to the tee line.
Yeah, I got my memory's gone, but I either got the shot rock or Team Martin's red rock at 14-2.
Yeah, and that would be a little bit heavy naturally. Yeah.
I'm not sure what the discussion really is here because I think your options are pretty limited. That thing, that yellow rock needs a friend, a red friend. So
I think it's time to just make a shot. I think you've got to play the instant draw here. There's too many out there to do much with it now.
Exactly.
And you're just at that point in the end where your third's got to make a shot for you, and
maybe Nancy's out there saying, "Hey, do you think you can find draw weight?"
Yeah. No. It's nice and easy to sit back here and say, "Well, that's just what you have to do." It's like, and yeah, you're right. She's in there thinking, "Well, we haven't really done much yet." So.
Yep. And I know that feeling oh too well when you really have to be precise and make a either tee line or top four, back four throw, and you're going, I can try. I just have no idea kind of really what the weight is.
Yeah. Well, I think Shaylin will put this together on this one.
Well, I mean, and I really don't know because we're not down on ice level for sure, but it just looks to me like they're just not getting out to the broom.
Yeah.
Now this one looks like she got out to the broom, and this is all weight now. This is by the front one.
I think this is going to be really good.
You'd like that thing just to stop. Oh, she just rolled off, which is unfortunate because now that gives Team Park an opportunity to, get in front of that again.
Yeah. The Martin team just not able to put everything together here right now because that was really thrown pretty much perfectly and really just a little bit too much. They didn't pound it, but they were sweeping enough on it that it just made that, like you say, just that little bit of difference where it just pops off the yellow one instead of sits right on top of it. And that could have been really good. So just kind of a few small errors here and there, and they're all different errors, but
yeah. Now, I mean, I'm not sure at how much weight the Korean team's comfortable with, or Nancy's team is comfortable throwing. But I mean, if I'm Nancy Martin, I also know that there's a double off the yellow wide one into the yellow that's just in the back four. So I think Team Park needs to be careful here. This is actually, I think, a fairly significant shot for them in the end.
Yeah, and they're going to have to go really hard here to get this by.
It's definitely close. And now it's no longer close.
No, just a little bit light. You might just see that shot you were just talking about here, possibly.
Yeah, you hate leaving that yellow one on the top of the 8-foot. I'd almost be inclined to try and nose that right up, like.
Yeah, just try to sneak it by the red one at the back.
Yeah.
You don't really want to give that same shot.
Yeah. At least Nancy has seen that double, that's for sure. She kind of motioned there to it. So we know she's seen it. That's a good thing. And so it might be just the preference now, whether you want to play it now or you want to play something else. Like I say, this is the shot I like, but again, it's definitely a preference thing, and I really like controlling the front of the house, and especially at the top of the 12-foot. So that would be my shot selection. But like I say, man, oh man, you make that double, you could put a lot of pressure on Team Park to make a really good raise.
Yeah, you really could.
Gimmies.
And Nancy, despite being a senior level curler, is more than capable of throwing it hard enough to make that.
Oh yeah.
I thought she was settled on the other one, to be honest. I was just going to say, I think I
think she is. I think she likes it.
Yeah. She's playing this really, really, really tight. We've seen this outturn. We mentioned earlier. We've seen this outturn go a little straight, not quite out that far, but seen it go a little straight. And you're going to have to throw a pretty solid to get anything good out of this. So, be interesting. It'd be interesting if she doesn't get all the way in there, what the Koreans will have to play, whether they'll play the bumper or just guard the whole thing up. But I think they'll probably go after it. So here it comes. Anyways, Nancy Martin throwing an outturn peel weight shot. Really?
Yeah, she's throwing it. This is close.
Really
this
close.
Is really close. Yeah.
Terrific shot. Great shot by Nancy Martin. And an end that really nobody's done much on that squad to help this end out. So great shot by Nancy. It's and you can see now that the problem with the Koreans' previous shot, where really she could have afforded to be a little bit heavy, coming up short. But she has one to work with, but that's a chance Nancy took and just decided, well, I gotta go after this. I'm gonna try to generate more than 1 point, and if she makes this shot, kudos to her. She'll take it away from us. But it just when you're the non-throwing team here, this just looks way too easy.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is where you actually say, nah, maybe we should have played the other shot.
I know one thing, that's she's got a lot of ice, so it's it's we know it'll curl. Now, the question is, will it curl if you're going to throw it like back 4-foot or so, or back 8 even? I don't know.
Yeah, I would be surprised if this is light versus heavy. I would think this has a better chance of pushing a red stone out of the rings if contact's made.
Well, exactly, yeah. Let's see where she goes here.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, what are you thinking for weight? I'm thinking like a back line kind of weight is what she'd be looking here.
I think she's throwing back line for sure. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, Nancy making her shot. This makes this shot a little tougher. And I'm just going to say off the top of my head on the release that this looked tight out of her hand. But
it looked tight and it looked light. I agree with you.
And yeah, she's going to bump that thing right through. Oh no. I mean, so the weight was perfect. Uh, at least for T line. It's still, she must have underthrown it because I just can't see her being light on that. This is now a shot for 4. What a change in the game momentum if this is made.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think Park just threw that one a little bit light, and she might have. It just kind of looked like she was almost rolling it over a little bit there. So I'm not sure if she was, but just probably more weight than anything. Just a hair more weight might have done it, and she needed all the ice that she had, obviously.
Yes, she really did.
Yeah, but it's a shocker here. I mean, Nancy's sitting 2 before she even throws a shot, so she's going to probably get 3, at least 3, and maybe 4 this end. And I'm not scoring the game, but I'll tell you what, they would be not winning this scoring battle. That's for sure. So that's why statistics are for losers, they say sometimes. So
that's right. This is good. They're going to have to go to
really
hang
hard.
this one in a counter position.
This could be total disaster.
Oh, geez,
wow.
whiz. How does that happen?
Man, I'll tell you. So, end result after a disastrous shot there for Nancy Martin. Martin will get 1, and we'll trail 2-1 after 3 ends here, and we will be back after this.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed, more innovation.
It's gonna make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like 1 more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
This is it. It all comes down to this rock. The hours in the gym, the weeks away from my family. This is what I've been training for. And all those voices trying to tear me down, I'm here to silence them. We've given everything we have for a chance to get everything we want.
Players. So we're back here playing the 4th end at the Curling Stadium, Martensville International. And Terry, just take us through the end of that last end.
Wow, I don't know if I can. I mean, the end is over, so you're not getting it back. The good news is you scored. The bad news is you really left 3 points on the table. And after making a very good shot with her first one, making the double, and then the Korean team coming up short on a come around draw to the back of the 4, Nancy really had a chance to make a hit and stay for 4, and it really kind of figured if she doesn't hit and stay, the odds were definitely favored 3 spot, but that thing curled hard, and she ends up taking out the yellow stone that she was trying to, but in the process she took out 2 of her other counters, and that's kind of defined as a disaster in terms of what could have been, and you don't get a lot of chances to make the hang that crooked number. So they've got to be disappointed, but again, they did score, so they're closer than they were.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good way to put it.
I got nothing else, Jim. I got nothing else.
No, I know. All I knew for sure was when you're sitting 2 and you throw your last one and you get 1, there's not, it's going to be hard to come up with good stuff out of that. So, but anyway, Nancy's been there a long time. We've all been there. I've certainly thrown a couple of those in my lifetime too. So, So yes, hopefully they can get this to park that one, as they say, and come back. And I'm sure that they've already really done that and just kind of move on. So anyway, Park now has Hammer playing the fourth end in a great position. If she could ever put a couple on the board here, she'd be in good spot, and just important to score here if you're the Park team. And yeah, they've been playing well. They didn't finish that end really well, but they have been playing well. So let's see how they go here.
Yeah, I thought you were going somewhere when you said that you got to park it, and I'm thinking, well, that's who they're playing. So
yeah, you know what? I'd like to take credit for that pun and whatever, and I never thought of that at all. Yeah,
I got you covered, Jim. I got you covered.
Yeah, there's such an opportunity there too. That was crazy. I'm just not sharp anymore. So she was playing, I think, down to the red one, but she's come by the red one and sitting on the back of the 4-foot shot rock, but not quite where she wanted to be. She would have liked to have been in the corner of the red on the top. So Martin's going to be a little more aggressive here, and she really has to be at this point. She's not able to really do anything but draw here. And without Hammer, you like the guard out there. It's still there, so she'll try to take advantage. It's going to be important for the Martin team here to really, as a whole team, really find that draw weight, kind of lock in on it. So at least if you have a few misses here and there, the misses are a lot smaller than they are right now. They're just, when they're missing shots right now, they're missing them and getting nothing out of them. You know what I mean? They sometimes you got to get something out of the shot. So we see where Cadriana goes with this shot. This one's going to overcurl.
Top red, yeah.
Good spot though. Yeah. Right idea. Weight was pretty close. Just curled harder than they thought.
Yeah, unfortunately, Jim, we know that there's a couple of other games going on the ice as we speak, and I'm just getting a sniff of an update here. Christy Walling from Manitoba scored 5 in the first end and gave up a 3 to Amber Holland, and therefore leads 5-3. And we have Jenna N. I don't know how you pronounce that name. I'm going to probably have to apologize. It might be, I don't know if it's pronounced Eng. Eng, but anyway, she from Saskatchewan, Jenna, is up 3-0 on Jessica McCartney from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan.
Yeah, predominantly Saskatchewan teams here this weekend, and that's good. You don't see too many 5-3 scores after 2 ends, so that was interesting.
Yeah. Amber Holland's been around a long time.
She has, yeah. Was a great player. Still is a good player. And
I was going to say she still is.
Yeah, and she's done a lot for the game. She's been, if I don't know if she still is, but I think at one time she was the executive director or whatever the title was, a chief person in Saskatchewan Curl, SaskTel or whatever. Yep. So, yeah, and super nice person. A little bit. I met her. Can't say I've spent much time with her, but I have met her, and she's always seemed to be a really nice, cordial person. So, so some rocks in play here, which is good for us, good for the Martin team too. I think they need to get something going, and you might as well get started. So kind of an intern come around. Martin's sitting 1 at the moment, I think.
Yeah, it's hard to tell whether she's got 2 counters or just the one. That one on the back of the 4. I mean, depending on the angle, sometimes I think she's sitting 2, and then I go, no, she's only sitting 1.
You have to go hard on this too.
Yeah, no, this is light again. Just so shocked that they're struggling this much.
Yeah, it's surprising. I mean, they're good players, obviously, and you don't expect them to.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't expect them to be fighting that weight quite as much as they have been. Park is going to wait a minute, see what she is going to do. Looks like okay.
Yeah.
She's gonna play a little hit and roll, just probably something like a board weight hit, I imagine, and gonna have to get out there though. By what we see, it seems like it's gonna go pretty hard. You can definitely clear that guard and get to the nose or inside the nose on this one. Jia and Kim, second stone for the Koreans. This could be good if it curls enough.
Yeah, it's definitely by the front guard. Yeah, this looks good.
Yeah, terrific shot. A really good shot by Kim. Perfect weight, for that kind of a shot. And she couldn't really throw too much more weight than that, or she wouldn't have got that roll. But Nancy Martin trying to just figure out, well, what do I do here? And it's definitely a little congested. And she doesn't have hammers, so she really doesn't want to have to go out and start.
That's right.
Out, but she might not have a choice.
I think she's initially called the run back, which I think she is called the intern run back on
the high one.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you don't make it, I guess you open it up maybe a little bit. Even if you don't want to, you maybe better chances of getting out of this end by having that happen than trying to draw anywhere. Those draws don't seem to be in the cards.
Yeah. She signaled that she probably threw this a little warm, but it's looking pretty close. It looks more than close.
Really good shot.
Yep.
Yeah, didn't get quite the outcome maybe she hoped to get out of it, but still a really good shot. And I think that Kits needed a shot like that too. She needs a few of those really to kind of get feeling good about the game right now.
Yeah, and it's above the tee. The way that intern curls, I mean, she can get to the nose and tap that. So I think all in all, that's pretty decent shot.
Yeah.
I mean, and she only needs to move it. Does she even have to move it a foot to get shot? I don't know, but
no, probably not.
Yeah. And if I'm Team Park, I'm looking at opening this up a bit for myself.
Yeah. Be interesting to see if she does. I have a sense that she was going to play the outturn tap on the yellow, but
I did too. I thought that's what she kind of liked, but if I'm her, I'm trying to make the front of the house a little bit more accessible to me.
Yeah.
I mean, she could play the tap on the yellow.
Yeah. I think I'm with you on what you're saying there, Terry. I guess the one thing about it, if you peel that high guard, then you have certainly opened up that back rock enough that Nancy would have a much easier tap. But either way, it's just got to make it. So they're going to play this with a little bit of weight. They're not throwing this just as a straight tap to the button kind of shot. This is more like probably a board weight shot as well, hack to board, something like that. Maybe even a little firmer than that, to be honest. You just hit about a quarter of a rock.
Yeah, this was her intern.
I think it's going to be really close.
Is she going to get enough of that? Oh, yeah.
Well, that's a really nice shot for sure. It probably rolled a little further than they would have liked it. If the saving grace for Team Martin here is it did go to the button. So if that had stayed at the top of the 4-foot, then they were going to be in big trouble. They've got an out here. They've just got to make the shot.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're Team Martin, you got to be happy that you do have a shot here.
Yeah.
And potentially a shot that can get you right out of the end.
Yeah. Yeah, could set up a steal here pretty easy as well.
And the sweepers jumped on that. I don't know that they needed to, but
I think they've probably seen so many come up light today that they're just...
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah.
Because, they do have to go on this to get it right to the face of that yellow one.
Yeah. That's a very good shot. Not shot rock, but regardless, that's a very good shot. And, had they been able to keep it a little straighter, it would have been really perfect weight.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they need a little more ice than they had, or if she was a little tight. I thought she actually looked like she kind of threw it out to the broom a little bit. So I didn't think that. I figured maybe they just need a little more ice. But anyway, regardless of that, Park's now got a chance to sit 2 as well.
Mm-hmm.
So she's going to come right around. Probably just the corner of just the top, little bit of corner of the red one would be good, even if she doesn't have number 2 right now. But we'll see what happens.
This is looks like it's fairly well out there.
Yeah.
And there it goes.
That's going really hard.
Yeah, I got 14-3 on that, so it should be really close.
Yeah. Pretty good. Same thing. Just over curled just a little bit. Still left Martin with a chance here to make a good one, sit in a good spot.
Yeah, if she can ever freeze onto that shot rock now, it's going nowhere.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, freezing. If you can get about a 1-inch bump, 1.5 inch bump or something would be perfect. But the freeze without doing that would be better than tapping and rolling off it. So
yeah,
not an easy shot for sure. Absolutely has to be perfect. But but you do have an opportunity, as you said. It's a couple of shots ago, it was a little bit questionable whether she get an opportunity, and Cailey threw hers pretty darn good. So Nancy just has to do the same. Yellow sitting 1, Parks team sitting 1 here.
Let's see if Nancy Martin's has found her draw weight somewhere in between N2 and now. She should definitely have a good idea in terms of the number of rocks that have come down this path where she would have had an opportunity to time them. But sometimes knowing the time and throwing the time are 2 different things.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Someday they're not even remotely close.
That's right. And this thing, they're going to have to really go on this. Oh, I got 14-5.
I was going to say, it looks pretty close.
It'll be there. It'll definitely be there. Just get by the... Oh.
That was unfortunate.
That really was.
Yeah, that was, again, a really good weight. That's the good news for the Martin team. That's a couple of rocks in a row that were really pretty much bang on for weight, and the sweepers team managed them well and all of that. Got really unlucky there to get that little roll off, because now she's left a pocket that could make it really, really difficult.
I'm always looking for doubles and stuff like that as a means of an out. And
yeah,
the way those rocks are aligned, I'm not sure that they favor Team Martin.
No, I don't think they do. If she can put this right on top of her own there, then I don't know where Nancy's gonna go, but I don't see her scoring at all for sure, and probably gonna be looking at a couple. So. But she has to make this good.
That's right. Yep. First things first.
Yeah.
This has got lots of weight. There's no question about that.
A little bounce off.
Yep.
pretty good. I think, if the guard was a little bit to the left, Nancy could double them off and sit a bundle, or maybe not sit a bundle, but sit one or two at least.
Oh, Nancy, don't go there, Nancy. Oh, don't go there.
If she does, just taking that a little further, she does, she could go yellow. She might get the other yellow. Unfortunately, I don't know. I think you might end up with shot rock here because I think the yellow hits there and moves the other yellow back a little bit. But I don't know that it's going to leave you real good. To see a lot of bad happening there.
Yeah, I think you could leave them sitting 1-2 for sure.
Yeah.
I like trying to come down to the shot that was just thrown. Bump the back yellow one that's behind the tee so that you sit 1-3, and then say, Nancy, it's your shot, or sorry, Miss Team Park, it's your shot, and I'm going to close my eyes when you shoot.
Yeah. So what is she doing here? I missed that, Terry. I had
They're trying to come down into that
into the pile two yellows.
I mean, yeah.
And tap that one back, so she's just sitting one.
I think so.
Okay, yeah, that's what it looks like. Yeah, and that would make it probably really difficult to.
Yeah, she'd be sitting 2-3, and
yeah, with really no room to work. So yeah, okay, yeah, that makes some sense.
Again, given the struggles, I mean,
yeah.
I'm sure she's not, overly confident. I'd be pleased that I still have an opportunity to cut this end off, but weight is everything, as we know. I think you can get off this. You might want to just try and make it curl. This looks like it. Yeah, that's what she's trying to do. Just make it curl, because this looks heavy. Curl, baby, curl.
I think it's going to be pretty good.
Hey, this is very good. Yes.
Ooh, just barely.
I think she moved it far enough.
Yeah. So if you're Park, you're trying to figure out how to get a deuce here. It is going to be hard. Yeah, you could come by, I guess, and try to just touch your own really thin.
Yeah, I guess the angle.
Enough that it gets to the red. So you got to move that red one on the right on the overhead.
And just given the way the camera angle is, she may be sitting 2.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, although I did see her tap the red rock, so I think.
Oh, did she? Okay,
yeah.
Good.
So I think number 2 is red. So she had a lot of ice there a minute ago, and she just tightened that up. So she's going to throw it maybe a little tiny bit firmer than draw, which would make sense with that ice. She has to throw to get 2. I think she has to throw it hard enough that her yellow, that shot rock, goes over and moves the red rock out.
Red rock, yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't have to move it far. Just doesn't move it an inch. Oh, she's throwing
this away.
Yeah. Ooh, they bounced around a little bit. So after a pretty convoluted end, kind of an interesting end for sure, but it looks like, and pretty well can confirm, that Park picks up 1 to go up 3-1 after 4 ends here in Martensville. We will be back after the break.
For over 20 years, the Sandra Schmirler Foundation has granted more than $9 million to hospitals across Canada for life-saving equipment for premature and critically ill babies. In the past 4 years alone, $4 million has been granted thanks to the curling community's incredible generosity. The need continues year-round, and with your help, we can ensure every baby has the chance to grow up and become a champion, just like Sandra.
SaskTel Be Kind Online wants to stop cyberbullying. Want in on the action? We award up to $1,000 for youth initiatives that help spread kindness and prevent bullying. What great idea do you have to help stop bullying? SaskTel can help. Go to BeKindOnline.com and apply for a grant today. Together, we can make a difference.
So we're back, and we are pretty sure the score is actually 3-1. We see we posted it as 3-1. They haven't put it up on the scoreboard yet, but pretty yeah. If I was there we go.
Yeah.
So it was 1.
Good eyes, good eyes. Don't let them call you a senior.
No way, man. I got 2 pairs of glasses on. I'm good. So Park throws up the center guard, and Nancy Martin trying to generate some offense, and they might be getting closer to that. They just struggled hard for 3 ends, trying to find the right weight on most shots, and that end they had a few really nice ones and a few nice ones that had to be made. Certainly, Kits had to make hers, and Nancy had to make hers, and they both did. So yeah, encouraging somewhat for the Martin team.
Yeah, they just, they've had an opportunity to get some rocks in good spots and have, just not been able to execute the way they wanted to. And there's a good example there. You're trying to come around a guard and you've got it behind the tee line, and just would have so preferred that top 4.
Yeah. So Park has a couple left-handers on her team. I didn't really realize that. I was thinking it was only 1. Sun Hee Yang throwing her second stone of this end. She'll be playing the come around. If it's perfect, they'll leave it above the tee line. If not, they just sit it right on the red one, and that wouldn't be the end of the world either. So
no, this is definitely all the way to the back one.
It's pretty good. Not so good if you're down a few points, but it's 3-1 lead. You're still early in the end. You still got a pretty good chance to get out of any trouble that it may cause, and shouldn't really hurt you much. Deanna Doig with her second stone here in the 5th end. 8 end games, as almost everything is nowadays, but just a friendly reminder. Reminder as well that all these games are going to be up on our YouTube channel at Curling Stadium or Curling Zone. We'll be doing a number of games live with full commentary, and there'll probably be a few that we just have the video for. So looking forward to being with you all weekend. Terry and I will be on track a few times, and Dave and maybe nobody else will be, but we'll be there anyway, and hopefully another person or two fills a few gaps along the way. So have some fun and enjoy the curling. Once these guys get a few more ends and get maybe a game under the belt, and I think you're going to see them perform quite well the rest of the way.
Yeah, that was a nice rock that Deanna threw there on her last one.
Yeah, that was a dandy. Nice freeze. Korean's going to play basically the same shot, although it looks like they're going to be light. This game has kind of reversed itself a little bit. Martin's team was throwing a lot of draws light the first few ends, and Koreans seem to have it all figured out, but they've had a few light ones in the last couple ends, or at least the last end. So another come around for Martin. You make this really good, you could sit 2. You just don't want to, again, you don't want to throw it hard enough to bounce off it if you can possibly help that.
That's right.
Adriana Lott.
This is just a little light.
A little light, yeah. been a bit of a struggle for a lot in this game. She's just been a little bit all over for the draw rate. It's just sometimes you get out there and you just can't, like we talked earlier, you just can't kind of match up with the number. You got a number and you feel like you're throwing it and it's just not working for you. And I don't know why that happens but it does happen, and it doesn't always matter the speed of the ice. And as we say, Terry's gotten a number of times, so we think it's in that neighborhood of 14, close to 14 and a half. Probably is the speed, and which is a nice, comfortable speed for these teams. They should be able to manage that really well, but just been a bit of a struggle. I don't think it's patchy out here. I just think that's the way. So here's the Korean stone coming in, looking really good. Get right to the top of that one. That's a dandy shot.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. Now is the lot girl Colton Lott's
I believe it is, yeah.
wife?
Yeah. So she throws a lot of big shots. Like
she's also, yeah.
Yeah, I assume on that team it'd be like most of those teams, and Colton probably throws the three in the middle. She throws the first one and has to throw the last one. So obviously does a good job because they've had tremendous success.
Yes, they
Martin
really
opening
have.
this up, which she almost had to do, I think, Terry. It was time.
Yeah.
It was going to get pretty difficult to score anything in there shortly. So she's shot rock right now, but interesting to see what the Park team does. Looks like a guard's going up.
Is she shot rock though?
I think the red shot rock.
Yeah, I think the red is. Yeah.
Yeah, Martin shot rock.
Yeah.
And for Park right now, that she's okay with Martin being shot rock as long as hers is in where it is right now, where it's really difficult to remove it. A better chance of getting rid of all three reds on a shot than there is getting rid of all the yellows. So and Cailey.
Really good finish.
Yeah, pretty good shot. I think it's Martin can probably do something with the red. She might try to maybe move it up or split it a little bit or something to create an angle or two for herself, or she might just play the peel again.
No, I mean I think she's satisfied with trying to split the top red one so that she's got both sides covered.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that I think it's going to take two rocks for her to move her red one and unlock the yellow one and then get shot. So, I mean, this is starting to look to me like she's going to struggle to, get a deuce. And I mean, I think Park's decision is she going to be satisfied with, continuing to play the end out with Martin sitting one and trying to hold her to one, or whether she wants to, gamble and see if she can't get shot here.
Yeah. Well, I kind of like that. I like that call.
I do too. Yep.
2 more feet of weight probably would have been good, but I still like that call. It gives you it could have created a couple of options. Certainly, if she hit a little harder and moved the red just a little more in the open on the right side there, that would have been better. But yeah, I think that was the right way to go.
Well, and you can see, I mean, the angles aren't too bad on the rocks in the 4-foot because you could spring that yellow one. Actually, you could spring the 2 yellow ones, I think, with a weight. And there's enough opportunity on the right-hand side there for, now it's going to be a lot more difficult.
Yeah. It's the trouble sometimes. The other team, they let that other team throw in between you.
Yeah.
It's very annoying, and it's sometimes really painful that happens.
That's right.
That was a good shot. I mean, that was
Yeah.
a fairly easy double, but at the same time, you got to make it, and it ended up in a really nice spot. And as
Yeah,
you
it
mentioned,
really did.
really
Yeah.
going to take at least a couple shots for Martin's team to get rid of Yellowstone. Right now, Red's sitting shot, but I'm sure she wants to try really hard to figure out a way to get two. And it's going to be hard right now to make that happen. But she's got 3 rocks to come.
Yeah, this is going to test her patience, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
She needed to see all of that yellow one that just the
Yeah.
last stone that was thrown. She needed to see all of that yellow
Yeah.
one, and
Then it had a chance. Yeah.
yeah. So I don't know what the call is here.
Well, I think she's playing the outturn double. The 2 yellows. It's a tough double. I don't care. I don't think she probably cares if she gets rid of the other yellow and the yellow
Yeah.
is at the top of the 4-foot, but it's going to matter more about where her rock ends up, I think. So nice big weight coming from Shaylin.
Yeah.
She's not going to curl enough, maybe.
No. She's going to hit the back yellow,
Wow.
red one. Yeah, that's too bad.
Yeah, that didn't go well, unfortunately,
No.
for her. Went very poorly for the Martin team. And too bad, too, because I think she threw a pretty good stone. It just had to curl another couple inches. And now she's in a really big hole right now. And Park's got to think about this one pretty hard where she wants to be.
Yeah, I think they say you're in big doo-doo at this point in the end.
I think that's, fair to say.
It is really going to be hard to score one. I don't think you need to worry about that one if your team park right now.
No. So what do you do if you park right here, do you think?
I'd play that in-turn tap on the yellow.
Well, I really thought that's what they were playing, but they're not now. They must be playing the guard.
I mean, and I don't think that's the wrong shot. I mean, I just think it's, what you're comfortable with. I think if you leave the in-turn open to Team Martin, I'm not sure there's a lot she can do with it. So I don't see this as being the wrong shot. I just, I think it's just a preference. I love the in-turn. I love to throw the in-turn. So I'm attracted to that automatically. But I don't think I don't think this is a wrong shot by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, I'm not sure that you're guarding the shot that might really hurt you here. I looking at that, I really think that there's a reasonable chance that you can come by that high guard really tight, and maybe not quite so tight, and maybe get all 3 of those yellows. To be honest,
Really? Yeah.
Well, yeah, I look like I mean, if it drags a little bit, if you hit the high one a little bit on the high side, it's going to drag a little bit over there. That I think the yellows could all go. And not only that, I don't know if she's going to have a choice but to try it. But it might be a little different angle when you look at it from ice level. So
yeah.
So Youbeen Park throwing the guard here, just trying to take away that little raise that Martin has.
Yeah, just the way the way it curls there. That'd be hard to, hit it on the nose and get it to be shot rock for sure. I mean,
and going to be really hard now.
Yeah.
Both there with a rocket. So I think Nat's going to try to make this. I'd like to see her make it. I'd like to figure out if it's really there, because I think it's there. I don't think I could throw it hard enough to make it, but it's but anybody that can throw it hard and straight, I think has a chance. So let's see
Oh
what
yeah.
Martin does here. I definitely think there's a possibility here that the yellows are two of the yellows are going to go for sure, and maybe all three. And it would probably jam on the outside one, but that would be. I don't think she'd be too unhappy with that. So Martin throwing in turn, peel weight shot. We're pretty near peel weight anyway. It looks like she's might have thrown it back a little bit. It's going to have to curl. Be really close to the guard. This is going to be really close.
Well, you know what? That's better than it was. Let's be honest. So, I mean, again, I don't know how she gets more than one, but
no,
certainly it's off the button now.
Yeah, it didn't work out quite the way I thought it might have, and I think it would have had. She would have thrown it even that much harder to even have a shot and get them. Then everything maybe moves a little further away. But you're right. There's a decent chance that she'll have a possibility of scoring here. Where before she threw that, it really looked like there was going to be very, very hard even to score anything.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll score one. Let's face it. Here we're talking. It's not no nails in the coffin here. If you score one, you're 3-2 with 3 to go. That's certainly a makeable comeback option in that score.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure what the park team's looking at or what they're just debating exactly where to put this, I guess.
Well, I can tell them where not to throw it, but I think everybody knows that.
Yeah, it's kind of instinctively sometimes these shots you just automatically say, well, we'll go to the top of the button behind the guard and we're good. When I think what their third's indicating here is that, if we bite the top of the forefoot, even if we're half open or all open, probably that might be a better spot.
You certainly like to seize the opportunity to make this the most difficult shot possible for Nancy. And I got 14-7 on this.
So probably going to be a touch light.
She sits 3.
Yeah, but if you move that rock, Terry, if you look at the long view, you move that rock 1.5 to the left.
I know.
This shot's a whole lot harder, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what I was getting at with the idea of coming right around. I mean, I know they're trying to get in there, but, it would have been pretty sweet if it was just over a little bit further.
100% correct.
But Nancy Martin is drawing against 3 here in the 5th end, already trailing 3-1. Really a must-make shot to remain in the game, or realistically in the game at least. I'm sure they're going to play a little longer, but I expect she'll be close on this.
This is almost similar to, that first end when she was looking at 3. Now, certainly she had a little less difficulty, but again, it was for 3 or against 3. She can come in off of that back one. Just don't want to leave it too late.
Just don't want to get caught in between, right?
Yeah. She's got, you know what? I think they should have swept that. Oh,
and that's unfortunately for Nancy Martin, she's going to give up at least 2 here. We're not quite sure on the third one yet. They're kicking them all off. I would think that would mean 3, but I wouldn't bet on that one. We might have to wait to see. But certainly at least 2 for Martin, 2 for Park. Steal a 2, and another good shot that Nancy had there that they just didn't maybe manage it quite the way that they could. A little bit of communication issues, but. We'll be back in a minute to give you the score. We know it's at least 5-1 for Team Park, but we'll firm that up as soon as we come back from commercial.
Don't forget your brooms.
Yep, you got it.
Come on up. Okay, well, what do you got? You got 1, you got 2, you got...
Just one more throw, please.
You make moments like these possible.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's ice pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best brew in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
Saskatchewan, you know SaskTel because we are everywhere. Because being everywhere keeps us connected to you. With SaskTel sponsorships, we get to be part of your community. We're here with you, and we're here for you. It's easy to get started. All you need to do is apply. SaskTel cares. Always has, always will. To apply for sponsorship, visit sastel.com/sponsorships.
Say that again.
Oh, just go ahead. I'll come back to that then, Terry. Back here for the sixth end, Park steals 3 in the fifth to take a commanding 6-1 lead here. It's a tough break there for Team Martin, Terry.
Yeah, I mean, they've struggled throughout this contest right from the word go. And I mean, unfortunately for Team Martin, those struggles have continued. They needed to use that rock of the Korean teams to actually score one. And as you mentioned, I mean, maybe a lack of communication from the sweepers to the vice about the weight, but it was so close. I mean, you really can't get overly upset that they didn't, I guess. But they needed that to ensure one. And like I say, the struggles just continue, unfortunately.
Yeah, for sure. They've definitely been on the wrong side of the inch here too. It's that was about all it would have taken on that one, to be honest. Just to,
exactly.
Score there. So yeah, tough break, but it's they had an opportunity to be down 3-2, which would have been much better than being now 6-1, no matter who has hammer. So they'll have to go pretty hard here. It's an end that you definitely have to score 2 and maybe really 3, but 2 for sure keeps you playing and gives you a realistic chance at pulling one out if the curling gauze are with you. So the corner guard went up for Nancy Martin. Koreans put a couple in the house, and Martin's now going to go around the corner.
Yeah, these games. I mean, I've been there many times. Sometimes you can't wish for them to be over, and then you start thinking of, man, oh man, we had a shot for 4. Like we're still in this.
Yeah.
But that literally 5 of the 6 points that Team Park has got on the board, they're steals. So I mean, that's just too hard of a situation to put yourself in. Giving up 5 stolen points.
Yeah, I would definitely, for sure. You're not gonna win too many in that situation.
No.
But let's see what happens. Park's going to try to remove this rock. So you can see probably 2/3 of it. Nice weight on this shot. Might just be not going to curl now for, she'll get it.
Yeah, no, she got it. Yep.
Yeah. Good shot. Martin probably going to ignore it again, but she could move them around a little bit without moving them out. Probably would be the thing to do right now. Game 1 of the Spiel. It's a triple knockout format from what I've seen, and only 11 teams. So, and I think might only be 4 qualifiers. It might be 5. I think I saw 5, but I couldn't figure out how 5 could work. So it might just be 4. But so certainly a loss in game 1 here is not the end of the world. It's if you'd rather not have that, but it's you got a lot of time to make that up. So Martin just really now kind of it's a point. Yeah, you might come back and win a game like this, but it's kind of rare. More importantly, to kind of get a feel for the ice, get a feel for sliding and just kind of maybe score a few points here and just get in a little better frame of mind going into the next game, whenever that might be.
Yeah. And you did see, right? It's 5 qualifiers. Certainly, I would imagine the 2 C qualifiers would play off. Out of the ace, I don't know. I'd have to look that up, but I think you've only got 1 A side qualifier. So,
yeah, I think I saw that too. I just couldn't quite figure out. So if the 2,
I just don't know how you seed them. That's all. But now that I'm looking at it, I don't know how you decide if you've got 2 B qualifiers. I just don't know how you decide. Well, it must be the A. The A No, that doesn't make sense. Jerry's the guru behind all of that. So,
just a heads up, guys. It's the 2 C qualifiers play in a quarterfinals.
There you go. That's what I was going to say. That would be the only way it could make sense.
Yeah, then they play the A qualifier, and then on the other side of the bracket, the 2 B qualifiers play in a semifinal as well.
Okay,
okay. There you go.
That sounds
easy
like it makes
peasy.
perfect sense. Yeah.
I don't know why you couldn't figure that out, Jim.
Well, I don't know either. And math was good for me. That was one of the things I did here. I just the number 5 just was such an odd number. We just don't see many. A lot of events with 6 qualifiers, some with 4 qualifiers, but rarely is it like 5 or 7 or something like that. So
yeah.
But anyway, should have known they'd have it all figured out.
Oh yeah.
So Park looking to remove a couple of reds here. So far in this end, Martin really hasn't got too much going here yet. It's 1 center guard to work with, and that's really about it. Park looking to make a double here. Left-hander out-turn double. Maybe a smidge tight, but I guess not. Nice delivery. Good shot.
Yeah.
So Nancy Martin kind of fine. Oh, we got a replay coming. See the left-hander come out. Just a really solid delivery even with that much weight. She's not a big girl.
Mm-hmm.
And Sweeper's just basically keeping it clean all the way down the sheet and bang, bang.
Yeah, really good execution.
And actually even stayed in a really nice spot. It was going to be hard not to stay in a nice spot, but Martin's going to move a couple here, just try to get rid of a few. Just mostly because there's just not a lot of room in there for her to. She can get shot rock here, but shot rock's not much good. You got to figure out a way to get more than one. So she's going to remove these 2, or at least try to.
Yeah, and I mean, I think, well, we had a rule, I guess, but I mean, rules are made to be broken. Down by 4, hit no more.
Yeah.
And I think, if she could ultimately just get those things behind the tee line, like. Yeah, you know what? I mean, that's not a bad start. Yeah.
Well, I like that better than just a straight hit. I thought she might play the out-turn draw in there, and the yellows were all slashable, if you will, but they were not real good. But anyway, it's going to be, we'll just keep going here. Park's going to play another hit. She would be doing all of the time at this point in this score. You're never playing any draws pretty much.
Yeah. Bingo. She wouldn't have minded clipping that yellow one that was behind the tee line either. So
yeah. So 3 rocks to come for the Martin team. They need to find a way to get a couple, and I'm thinking you probably need to play the out-turn draw here, or maybe the in-turn draw. I don't know. I don't think I'm going near that rock. I don't think that's just gonna mean my the one I'm throwing now is gonna be open and removed.
Yeah. Exactly.
So you got to go in turn around that, or you got to go out turn around that. One of the 2.
Yeah, I think I mean, might be inclined to play the out turn, but again, I favor that in turn. It's funny because in my early years, I mean, I hope Ted Brown, you're not listening, but um, I, I didn't know what an intern was. Ted was a coach of mine, and then I played with him for a year, and I think we probably might have thrown 2 or 3 interns all year.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had one turn,
Mhm.
and he was deadly with it.
Yeah.
And then as I guess, got older, I found that the intern was my favorite turn. So
Yeah. Intern's always been my favorite turn. The out turn for me was I always in out of my out turn, no matter how hard I tried not to. And now that wouldn't hurt you as much, but back when we were playing and ice was a little
oh
slippery,
yeah,
it was not a good thing.
that's for sure.
So the Martin team removes that yellow one, which does really nothing for them, but they might have been trying to get a little more out of it than that. Certainly was going to be a much harder shot to play the draw there, but I think you really had to play the draw there. So
yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. So the Cranes are going to try to put it back there, top 4 foot. Yes, you might play another hit if they do and just figure, well, you know what? We're going to score 1. Then we're going to go talk about this one and have some lunch or watch the next game.
I think they're looking at more than just lunch.
Yeah. Yeah.
A painkiller or 2.
Yeah. So Youbeen Park is playing this shot, and I don't know what. I just don't believe that's her real first name. I got to believe that's a name that they did phonetics or whatever they call it on that, so that we could figure out how to say it.
Could be,
because it's spelled Youbeen, and I just this seems like a different name. That nice shot though.
Yeah.
Spot. Now you got the out turn draw coming. Still a chance for Martin to get 2 here if she can make this one really good, and then maybe gets a half a miss or something, and she still might get her 2.
Yeah, she could afford to top that shot rock and actually just roll a teeny bit towards the other yellow one there on the 4 foot, and that would make it somewhat difficult for Team Park to remove, and that's all you're trying to do, I would think, at this stage of the game is give her a difficult shot, and maybe she doesn't make it.
Exactly. This one could be really good if they can get it there by that. Get by the next one. Not quite. Close. Another nice weight by Nancy, though. It was got me saying Heather now. Or you were saying Kathy. You weren't saying Heather anyway.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, really, really nice weight. Just probably not quite enough ice to make that shot, I guess.
But like you said, I mean, they're just on the wrong end of the inch here.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
the weight was good. The line's, just not
off. Yeah.
Perfect. And then when the line's perfect, the weight's just not there.
Exactly. Yeah. So when you mentioned Ted Brown, made me think of the old Brownie brush, and I don't know if anybody even knows that anymore. So
there's still some of them around.
Yeah, I see the odd one. We had a couple people at our club that just kind of got rid of them recently, but
yeah.
And then I played with some guys that used that 12-inch Brownie brush.
Yep.
Oh Christ, I couldn't even lift it. I used to be a pretty good sweeper with a straw broom. So
yeah, that's right. You were.
Yeah. So the out turn by Park, really just trying to plant it right in on top of the 4 foot or right on top of those rocks probably wouldn't be bad either. Just gotta be a little careful here. You don't want to set up a simple double or something that could come back to haunt you, but doesn't look like she's going to.
Yeah.
Wow. That's pretty nice.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, really great shot by Park. Give her credit where credit is due. That's I don't know what you do if you're Nancy Martin here. It's going to be challenge. I think you can. Yeah, I don't even know if you can score. If you play that shot that they're talking about, even I'm guessing that it catches a little bit of the red and maybe moves the red.
Yeah, I think it does.
And somehow all of the yellows have to go. It's it's going to be really tough. No way to come off of the red, I don't think. You can get number 2 that way, but number 2 is no help right now. So, well, I'm not the coach here, and they call me out to help with this one.
If they called me out and I was the coach, I would be telling them that Dandy Don Meredith is starting to get warmed up and sing, "Turn out the lights, the party's over." It's. I'm glad it's your shot, Nancy Martin, and not mine. Just nothing has gone in their favor.
That way, and it's funny.
Last end.
Yeah. You look at this team, you say, well, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised to see this team turn it right around though and win 2 or 3 in a row, whatever it takes to qualify at the end of the day. Because they just haven't. They've saved up a lot of shots from this one for sure, but they they're not as poor a team as they've looked at times in this game for sure. They're a pretty solid team, and I would expect to see them kind of bounce back pretty good in the next one.
Yeah, I'm thinking that they're hoping that they didn't waste any shots today.
Well, really,
game 1.
Yeah, Terry, there's really the end that they didn't score multiple points, that they already had 2 in the bag, and then the little bit probably a miscommunication on sweeping in the 5th end. Yeah, and this game could be like just a 1-point game without any trouble at all. Nancy's going to let this go. She's going to be by the guard and gets the top one only. And Peck will pick up 2. And we've got probably handshakes all around. I haven't seen them come out yet, but I'm expecting that's what we're going to see here.
Yeah,
we'll just hang on for a second.
The only thing they would want to continue would be just to practice, and I'm sure they're not interested in practicing at this stage of the
we
day.
have a final. Yeah, we have a final. It's a final for 8-1 for Park. The Koreans certainly deserve the win in this one.
Full value. Yep.
Yeah, for sure. And we encourage you to take us out. We got a couple more draws coming up today. We'll have coverage of all of those and all weekend long as well here at the Curling Stadium, Martensville International. So for Terry Corbin and myself, Jim Nix, we look forward to seeing you through the weekend.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's Ice Bat has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best brew in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.